Hey, welcome back, Blade fans. OG Blade Reviews with you once again. Hey, how do you like my new logo? The skull and the flower? No, that's not mine. This is mine. But we're talking about the Deadhead series today from none other than Auxiliary Manufacturing, neatly contained in that little coffin shape there. So maybe a tribute to the Grateful Deadhead, the Grateful Dead followers, the Deadheads. I don't know. I think Michael Jarvis is a fan. And we're talking about Michael Jarvis's company, Auxiliary Manufacturing in Reno, Nevada, USA. Now, this whole series is OEM'd by Miguron, also known as AM8. That's Sam Luo. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. And these are made in the Miguron factory in China. The same as the factory that is making the series for DC blades of late. And some neat Karl knives. I think I showed you the Last Man Standing not that long ago, Karl knife. Before we open the box, you may remember this. So what we've got here is the, what is it? The pocket buoy. This was one of the first, if not the first, to be done as a production run. These are running $99, as is the one in the box that I'm going to show you in just a moment. I was so glad to see him make that one. We'll talk about it shortly. But this is the pocket buoy. This is the small baby, 3-finger knife, nice jimping. And I won't get too into it because there's a full review on this guy. This was fashioned after the pocket buoy and the pocket buoy XL that were custom knives by Auxiliary Manufacturing. This guy is in 14C, 28N, as will be this one. Excellent sheaths, by the way. Let's just crack the box open. It did come with a sleeve over it, but I'm having such a hard time opening the box. You got to sort of pull it aside like that. It's a tight fit. You may want to oil your box, friends. Well, inside, and I'm missing the microfiber cloth. Sorry about that. But yes, you get a microfiber cloth as well. And you get a cool sticker as well as a Velcro rubber patch with Aux Manufacturing on them. There you go. Put those aside. And this is what you get in a dense foam lined box. This knife is not going anywhere. Look at that. No rattle, no shake. There we have, this time around, the production version, or the Deadhead version of none other than the Karl Jr., one of my all-time favorite pocket fixed blades. Just amazing. Whereas on the pocket buoy, we have a shorter handle that only accommodates 3 fingers. On this one, on the Karl Jr., we have a full 4-fingered handle with a little leftover bird's beak going on the end. Very much Filipino inspired amongst other countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, so forth. Pencak Silat. I love it because it just nestles in the hand in either position, especially Karl. And yes, I know the edge isn't on the inside, and yeah, you could hold it this way, but it's awkward. That is perfect that way. One thing that I love about this knife and makes it more of a favorite than the pocket buoy for me, and we're talking personal preferences, is the fact that we have an asymmetrical handle that just melts into the hand. We got the stone pattern going on here. This is green micarta in this case. There is a blacked out version, black micarta and a black blade. I felt I'd go with this one. I got enough blacked out blades, and for me, the blacked out blade just becomes kind of, I'm sorry, the term would be boring after a while, but that's why there are different, colorways. I know that's a new name that manufacturers are using, but beautiful little 14C 28N knife. The sheath, well, what can I tell you? Zero sound. The fit is perfect. Miguron's just knocking it out of the park with that. And that tunnel, I call it a tunnel, for your thumb is perfect. Thumb fits right there, bang. Snap it right off, snap it right in. All knives should fit this well in their sheaths. Comes with a narrow, slim down Tech-Lock style. I know Tech-Lock is really a trademark of Bob Turzuola, who invented the concept. I feel in this case, unless you have to wear this knife on the outside of your pants, on your belt, or on some backpack, on your strap, something like that, which would probably be better than on the belt, then you'd want this. But for me, I would most likely take this off completely, easily removed. I would carry the sheath and the knife in the pocket. Very nice and easy to feel this knife. You reach your hand down in your pocket, you can feel that tactile sense immediately. And as you are pulling the knife out, you pop that off. And so long as you don't draw back hard, you won't cut your pocket or your leg. So that's how I would carry it. That's how I intend to carry it. Either that or attach a static cord to the end or put it around the belt and let your belt pop it off with the tension on the cord. Or DCC clip or ulti-clip. I'm going to put the sheath to the side for the time being. This knife did come reasonably sharp out of the box. I did have kind of an issue with the pocket buoy when it first came in. They're polishing edges on and they're not particularly bitey. So what I did with this one is I did put it on a strap. Yeah, you did. And it cuts pretty well. You might want to put it on, again, this is me. You might like it just the way it is. But I like an aggressive edge, okay? I kept the pocket buoy nearby because I do want to show you that I put my edge on this guy with a Work Sharp Precision Adjust Pro. And I was even able to get into the recurve on that guy. And once I did that, yeah, much sharper. There we go. She cuts. She cuts. It's a thicker blade stock, so we're not getting a whole lot, and I'm not going to attempt to measure behind the edge, but I will give you some other measurements. Overall length, and let's zoom in a little, we're kind of far away here. There we go. Overall length in inches is 7 exactly, with a 3-inch blade exactly. And in centimeters, we have 17.5 centimeters, and we have 7.5 centimeters on the blade. Leave it there for a moment while we get the calipers out here, and I got things stacked. I don't want to make the whole works fall over. Here we go. So, millimeters on the blade stock, 3.5. It's easy. and angling it so we get the middle of the rise there of the handle, 15.4 millimeters, and in inches, 0.6. Remember, that's the high spot. Down in here is where your fingers fit. And in inches on the blade stock, we got 0.14. So for a small knife, a little thicker blade stock, but it's going to make it quite durable for you. Let's roll around 2 grams here. There we go. And the weight in grams is going to be 88.13. In ounces, 3.1. Let's call it 3.2. No. Yeah. 3.11. Sorry about that. 3.11. Not rounding up properly, folks. Early in the morning. What can I say? Again, the ergos are amazing on this knife. And with some velocity behind it, it's going to work really, really well. If you want to go pical on this guy, you don't have that cutting inner edge, but you definitely do have your jabbiness. In the Filipino martial arts, we tend to use this flick with the point, right? Hold it that way. You don't need the inner edge for that. And of course, you can do your outward cuts. As far as this way goes, it just drops right in the hand beautifully. And I love the fact that the custom had this. I'll show you the custom in a minute. The custom had this rock pattern on the spine, which I think is a great touch. You know, even acts as jimping, not as sharp as true jimping, but enough there to give you kind of the feel that you're looking for. Well, applause as we bring out my original that I picked up a couple of years back from Michael. When I say picked up, I purchased this. And this is the custom version, hand ground by Michael Jarvis at his shop in Reno. We have a beautiful, looks like fat carbon, but it's just carbon. But it's just got some three-dimensionality to it that's amazing. There is the same pattern. Look at that. Now that's more of your random pattern. This is a milled-in factory pattern. And so that's going to be identical on each copy of the knife. This is going to be a little different on each one. We have a stone-washed finish on this guy, and this is from AEBL. But what we have is an exact duplicate of the Karl Jr. with the exception of things like the variance in the rock pattern, which is put in by hand, the variance in the spine rock pattern, and so forth. And we've got 2 screws here holding the scales on the production model. Again, $99, but up in the $250 to $300 range, maybe more by now for the custom. Get what you pay for. And let's bring out Mr. Senior, Mr. Karl Senior. And what we've got here is a much larger blade, a full 4-inch blade on the custom Karl Senior. This one is in MagnaCut at HRC 63 to 64, I understand from Mike. And this is a dark matter carbon fiber. Might be, that's what he labeled it, yes. You could say it's a lava flow. I'm not sure. It's got the orange in there. But he labeled it as dark matter. If you're an expert on fat carbon and you know otherwise, let me know. Same stock, right? So I'm not sure here if the stock is any different on the full-sized. Let's see what we got. Yeah, exactly the same stock. How about that? All the way across the production version, the Deadhead series, and the custom Junior. That's interesting. But as you can see, Got even a little bit more left over here, right? Actually pretty close to the same. Pretty close to the same. Handle thickness is about the same. Blade stock is the same. But we got about an inch longer blade in MagnaCut. Feels like there's more weight in the handle on the Karl Senior. This is what I got at that time that I purchased it, is this deep carry clip. Again, you can swap them out. They're all pancake style sheaths. A little bit of rattle there. Actually, we got a tighter fit with the factory. How about that? One I'll bring out for compare because it's a very similar size is the Spyderco Street Beat VG10. A little longer knife, even though this is a small knife in and of itself. And this is a Fred Perrin design. I think I did say VG10. Got a nice file-like jimping on this. Fred Perrin designs and Bastion Cove designs from Bastinelli, very similar in a lot of their concepts. FRN or GRN handle on this. It's a molded handle. The tang slides up the middle here. You can see actually the mold mark. I think that's a mold mark rather than a two halves coming together, because it's just kind of slipped on and probably cemented in place. I don't see any pins there. So again, lining up the pommels perfectly. This is about a ½ inch longer overall. And if you measure the blade right to the handle, it's about 3/4 of an inch longer blade. That's interesting, because we've got the choil for the finger half set up into the blade. And kind of a, I don't know if you call it a bolteron or whatnot, sheath. It's a molded sheath. Injected, at least. Well, let's bring them all out for a finale. The Deadhead series, the pocket buoy. And did I bring out the... No, I didn't bring it out. Here's your pocket buoy XL. I did not put that on the table yet. About a year ago, when Michael was advertising his coffin handle series, he sent me this custom. And thank you very much, Michael. This one is an AEBL, dark stone wash, coffin handle, quite handle heavy, okay? So the balance is way back here. Balance on this guy, about the same, I think, because we've got such a fat pommel, meaning a wide pommel, and our balance is just slightly more forward with the Karl Jr. But yes, this is the XL, a full 4-inch version. And if I already put it out on the table, and I think I'm probably remembering now that I did, because I'm moving fast here. If I did, you got to see it twice. The Deadhead series. Karl Jr., excellent pocket fixed blade tactical EDC. The coffin handle series, Deadhead. The pocket buoy. And if you like this video, please snap that like button. If you haven't subscribed, click on my logo over there and you shall subscribe to the channel and be notified every time something new comes down. Be well, take care, and you all stay safe.